Traders, welcome back to Simply Forex. Welcome to the live stream. For the next 45 minutes, we are going to do the following. We are going to do some in-depth market analysis, looking at multiple charts, guys. We're going to do Forex, commodities, indices. So strap in for that. I'm also going to show you trades that I am currently in. I'm actually in 800 trades at the moment. I'm exaggerating. I'm in 4 trades, but it's quite a few for me. So we're going to look at those trades that I'm in as well. We're also going to look at other trades that are potentially setting up. So I'm still looking at some trades today that I'm not in just yet. So we'll take a look at those as well. And then we are also, guys, if that's not enough, we are going to take as many of your trading questions as possible, guys, right? So don't be afraid. Ask me as many questions as you like about trading. So, yeah, please, get involved. Come say hello in the live chat and ask as many questions as you like. I believe the editor has put up a question for today. And we will take a look at that as well. Also, guys, what we obviously must mention, more important than trading, more important than life itself, is Liverpool are champions of the Premier League. Yes, I have been one happy camper all bloody week. It took me yesterday to get over the festivities on Sunday night. But yeah, happy bloody days, guys. Liverpool were champions. Can't wait for us to lift the trophy. Well done, the Reds. So any other Liverpool fans, come enjoy, come and revel in our enjoyment, guys. All right. So yeah, there you go. Liverpool champions. Woohoo! Right. Let's start today, guys, by looking at the editor's question as well. Who would win 100 men versus 1 gorilla? So obviously a very important question. You know, it's like, what's the meaning of life, or who would win 100 men versus 1 gorilla, right? It's up there, very philosophical. So yeah, share your thoughts on that, guys. 100 men or 1 gorilla? I'm trying to think. I think 100 men. But then again, yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's focus on the trading, guys. I can see people are joining us. I can see a few hi, Tom. So we'll get round to everyone. We'll say hi very shortly. And like I say, guys, please leave a question and we will answer all of your questions as well. And you can also congratulate us on Liverpool. So, guys, let me just show you all the trades I'm in, right? So, silver. Haha. Sorry, have to do my silver impression. So silver is this, right? We were like, we're in a downtrend. We're not sure what's going on here. Bang, we're in an uptrend, right? Because we are starting to get higher highs and therefore we're getting higher lows, right? So we're in an uptrend. Okay, so we're just going to understand each trade and where I entered, right? Just so it helps you understand what I look for. But basically, guys, it's simple price action, right? That is how I roll. And then, yeah, we're in an uptrend and we got this candle, right? Not crazy bullish, but bullish enough. And we're just trying to take price back up to these highs, right? If not, we could leave some profit to run, right? And then once I've got my daily direction, which you can clearly see, right? I hope that makes sense. We pop down to the H4. And then I'm looking for H4 trend to also marry up with what I'm seeing. I think that's the best way to describe it. So as you can see, guys, right? H4, right? We was in a downtrend. We're not sure what was going on here, but we could see this level through here. And then bang, today we literally got that candle that made it H4 uptrend, right? We're now getting higher highs. We're in an uptrend. But not only that, guys, right? We're getting higher lows. We've got this nice big bullish candle. I got a little bit of a retrace, started buying in here, stops below here, target up here, right? So that is my first trade. That's the trade I got into today. Also, pound Aussie dollar, right? Got into this today. Again, let's just see what I'm seeing. So on the day chart, now it is scruffy price action, right? But we are in an uptrend, but price is just contracting, right? You can see this market is just ranging from here, but we are in an uptrend, right? We're getting higher lows and we're getting higher highs, right? But now price has contracted. And during this contraction, we've just got a very nice bullish candle. So all I'm trying to do is take it to the top of that range. And that is it, right? And then if we drop down to the H4, so you can see, guys, they're all the same. They have the same ethos behind them, which is price action. And then on the H4, we're looking for a H4 uptrend, which is what we're clearly in, right? We got this bullish candle, right? And then at this point, I waited for a little bit of a retrace. I got in around here, started buying, stopped below here, target up here. All right, so that's pound Aussie dollar. I'm also in that trade. So they're the two trades I got into today. I'm also in pound yen. Right, I'm still in this from yesterday. And I'm also in euro New Zealand dollar from yesterday as well. All right. So yeah, and again, guys, right, if you want all of these trades, then please go check out the Discord channel. All right, and specifically the VIP Discord. So there you go, guys. There's my euro New Zealand buy. There's the pound yen that I'm in. Okay. And there's the two trades from today as well. Right, pound Aussie dollar buys. Oh my God, what have we done? What am I doing? I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. I do not know what's going on. There we go. Still not sure. Let's erase and then press the pen. There we go. Pound Aussie dollar buys and silver buys. All right, so if you want all of my trades, guys, please come join the VIP Discord and also in the free Discord, guys, right? I give you all the trades that I'm looking at today. So this is in the free Discord. As you can see, Tuesday the 29th, these are the other trades that I'm looking at. And you'll see here, Swiss franc yen is one of my trade ideas. So I wanted to show you that quickly because this potentially could be setting up, right? Now, why do I like Swiss franc yen buys? It's a lot to do with the weekly chart, right? So you can see we was in this downtrend and then bang, we're in this uptrend, right? We're getting higher highs. These are the lows. Is this the new higher low? Potentially, yes, right? We've got this nice bounce off of this support level. And the idea really in terms of a swing trade would be to take it back up to these highs, right? If we drop down to the day chart, price structure is a little scruffy, right? I'm not going to lie, right? Are we seeing that? Right? I would argue we are. But you can see in here, we've had this kind of sideways action here, but none of this warrants to be called a higher high or a lower low, or, you know, they're not swing points, right? These are all quite clear, right? So that's what I'm seeing. We're in an uptrend. We got a nice big bullish candle, right? And yesterday's candle was still pretty bullish as well, right? And then if we drop down to the H4, guys, we had a nice H4 structure break, right? We had price was in a downtrend. Again, it's like rinse and repeat. What I'm showing you is just what we do with every trade, pretty much, right? We're in an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. This low is holding, right? Now, Swiss franc yen, if we get a nice bullish candle out of here, right, I will start buying Swiss franc yen as well. All right, guys. So yeah, enough about me. Yeah, but that is what I am looking. That's the trades I'm in and what I'm looking at as well, guys. Right. But let's say hello, Brett. Afternoon, Joma from Brazil. I remembered. How are you, Luigi? You can tell where Luigi is from with the name. Italy. Ali, how are you? Carlos. Carlos is celebrating the Reds championship. Carlos, happy days. Yes, I'm still recovering a little bit, but yeah, so happy. Yeah, brilliant. Right, Brett thinks one gorilla would beat 100 men. I'm leaning towards one gorilla, to be honest with you. Simply Forex, the editor, is happy with his question. He's saying, see, it's a head scratcher. And it really is. He should be happy with his question. Right, what else are we looking at? Brett wants to take a look at oil. No problem, Brett. We'll take a look at oil. Scott, how are you? Brett suggesting, Tom, you need to build a price action indicator so we can all learn to read price action as well as you can. Not a bad idea, Brett. We may well look into that. Who would be interested in a price action indicator? Please let me know. Leave a comment. Very interesting. Right, let's have a look at oil. And guys, yeah, please don't forget, please ask as many questions as you like. Now, let's have a look at West Texan Intermediate. Right, and let's start with the weekly chart because it really is interesting, oil at the moment, because clearly, right, we're in a downtrend, right? You don't need to be Warren Buffett. This is in a downtrend. Lower highs, right, lower lows. Okay, we're in a downtrend. Now, this is the weekly chart. We're going to do a top-down approach, right? We're going to look at weekly, daily, and then we'll look for entries on the H4 as well. But, and it doesn't quite hit this low, right? That wick there doesn't quite reach that level, right? So it's tricky. If it hit that level and we got a nice big bearish candle, things become a lot more clearer. Right? But it's not. Okay. Now, also, right, super bullish candle. It is, right? Bullish candle. This is a bit of a doji, right? But there's lots of buying pressure here. So can it make its way back up to here, right? Now, obviously, this weekly candle hasn't finished forming, so you should ignore it. But looking at these weekly candles here, it would suggest, yes, it can make its way into this area of resistance, right? Now, this is West Texan Intermediate, but Brent and West Texan are, pretty much the same chart. But let's look at the day chart now, right? Let's get some more information. And let me take this level out now because I think that's become a little bit old. But even here, right, we was in a downtrend. And, we did break this level. So we're kind of here now, right? And again, you can see it doesn't quite hit this level. I just want to show you how sometimes charts are not easy to read. And this is a perfect example, right? Because, it's important that we look at these examples. If you look in a textbook or you look at anyone showing you price action, they'll say to you, right, an uptrend looks like that, and then you buy it. Uptrends never look like that, right? Uptrends always look like this. Right? That's how they really look. It never looks like that. And if it does, it's easy to trade, right? And this oil is a perfect example of scruffiness, right? It's difficult to read. Now, what I do know is that is the last significant low, right? We kind of come up, bounced off that level. Where will it go from there? Now, if with oil, if we get a nice big bearish candle like this, right, on the day chart, I would suggest we can come potentially back down to these lows and aim for this 58 level, right? I wouldn't aim into this wick. You're pushing your luck, right? Aim before that wick. So around 58, right? If we break that low. Now, if this low holds and we start seeing a big bullish candle bounce off that level, I would suggest oil can make its way back up to that resistance level that we first pinpointed. But right now, it's not tradable. I would have to see one of those scenarios play out, right? But let's look at the H4 as well. So you can see it's hanging on by the skin of its teeth to this low, right? And yeah, it's a bit scruffy on the H4 as well, right? Because look at this, right? I'm just going to show you swing. Let's do it like this. I'm going to show you swing highs. Right? And I'm just going to show you the swing points. This is like one big swing point, right? Now, if we match those up, okay, what would you say is the trend, right? You would say it's a downtrend, right? Because we've broken this low. But we know this is a swing point in here as well, and we don't want to sell into that, right? So, yeah, a real tricky market, but all depends on this low for me, right? It'll be interesting to see what oil does here. Yeah, there's no crude oil inventories or anything. I was just looking at the news, guys, to see if there is any crude oil or anything, but there isn't, right? So that won't make the difference. Oh, well, there's some weekly crude oil stock here, but nothing really, okay? So, yeah, oil, all about this low. If that starts breaking, I think we can come to the further down. If it holds, we could make it back up to here. So there you go, Brett. Hope that helps with oil. Right, what else have we got, guys? Please leave your questions. Don't be shy. Okay, we got one here. Say it with Stone. Where have you been? Say it with Stone. Welcome back. How are you? And say it with Stone. I am coming to Italy. So I know you live in Italy. I am going to Tuscany. We're going to do a little road trip and just go from Pisa to Florence and basically drink a load of wine and eat nice food. So there you go. I'm in your neck of the woods. Anyway, Say It With Stone wants to look at pound US dollar. Let's do exactly that. And let's do a top-down approach again, guys, right? Now, the thing with pound US dollar, right? This is why you must look at multiple timeframes. Now, I put this in the free Discord this morning, right? That I'm seeing pound strength in general, right? We really saw that come into the market yesterday. And just look at that daily candle, sorry, right? You look at any pound pair pretty much, right? Pound New Zealand, right? Pound strength, pound Aussie dollar. I'm in this trade off the back of this bullish candle, right? We saw a lot of pound strength in the market yesterday. Now, if you only looked at the day chart, and this is a perfect example why you should look at multiple time frames, right? If you only look at the day chart, right, this is a continuation of trend. We broke these highs with a nice big bullish daily candle, right? Now, if I saw that, I'd be like, right, let's buy pound US dollar. Simple as that, right? And that still might be the case, right? This still might just keep pushing up. But why not get more information, right? And that more information, I mean, look at different time frames. So if you look at the weekly chart, do you want to buy into a pivotal weekly level, right? Do you want to buy into that resistance? And the answer is a big bloody no, right? No, I don't. Yeah. Even if it broke that level, it's difficult to buy because it's so overextended. Look at the moving average 20, right? So all the pound pairs I pretty much want to buy except pound US dollar because we know how overextended US dollar pairs are, you know, right? Or they're all at pivotal weekly levels, right? And pound US dollar is exactly that, right? So if anything, I want to sell pound US dollar from this level back down to here, right? Now, the question is, what do I want to see, right? To start selling pound US dollar? Well, let me tell you, right? So this big weekly candle here, this weekly candle is a good start. We have had a wick rejection at a resistance level, right? Tick. We want to see that. On the day chart, we now want to start seeing a big bearish daily candle. Maybe it's not today. Maybe this candle finishes like this. And then tomorrow we get a big bearish candle, you know, that looks something like that. Okay. Then I'm very interested in selling pound US dollar. And then the last piece of the jigsaw is I really want to see a breakdown in H4 structure. And you can see how long we could potentially be waiting for that, right? So if we just follow structure and trend, this is where we're at, right? So price could, you know, moving average 20 could catch up. We could get another big move to the upside, right? Price does this, and then finally we get a breakdown. Now we could be waiting days for that, but so be it. Wait for days, right? So that's what I would be looking for in order to sell pound US dollar, right? And that's generally what I want to do with this pair because it's at such a key weekly resistance level. But, you know, the market needs to tell me that it's ready to come down. If it doesn't give me any clues to start selling pound US dollar, I won't sell it, right? You know, I'm not just going to say, you know, woohoo, this is a weekly level, let's start selling, right? No, don't do that. Yeah, we need to see more confluence, more reasons in order to sell pound US dollar. And we don't have them at the moment. If anything, this is looking like a buy trade. Okay, but I don't want to buy into this resistance. So a bit of a, you know, let's wait and see and wait for price action to potentially break down on pound US dollar. So hope that helps. Say it with Stone. Come to Puglia. Is that in Tuscany? I've got to go to the, is it the Chianti? Is that what, that is what Anthony Hopkins' famous film where he's a famous baddie, Silence of the Lambs. I don't know why it took me that long to think of it. But didn't he used to drink, you know, like eat people's skin and have a nice glass of Chianti? So that's where we're going. We're going to check out the Chianti wine. Anyway. Right, what else are we looking at here? So guys, we've got some other questions coming in. We'll take a look at those. But please, guys, if I could ask everyone to please subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button if you haven't already. Also, guys, please come join our trading community. It is free to join, right? So come join our free Discord channel. You can share knowledge, ideas, have a chit chat. What's not to like? Come join our free Discord. Also, guys, if you want to improve as a trader, then we are giving you access to all of our premium trading education via our website. So if you go to www.simply-forex.com, you can get access to the Simply Forex complete trading course, and that is 50% off right now. Right, literally, we're starting this today. We're going to announce it tomorrow, but we are doing 50% off. You can also get access to the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one, and you can get access to the VIP Trading Academy. So check it all out, guys. All the links are below the vid. And also, today's vid is today's live stream is sponsored by Blueberry Funded. Let's hear from them. Exciting news, Simply Forex has partnered with Blueberry Funded, a proprietary trading firm backed by a world-class award-winning broker, Blueberry Markets.
So if you want to increase your trading capital without increasing risk, plus benefit from some of the best spreads in the prop firm industry, then Blueberry Funded is the prop firm for you. Their challenges are innovative and sustainable with regular payouts, and their customer service and cutting-edge technology create a seamless experience. For all of these reasons, you get access to a prop firm that truly understands traders' needs and provides the tools you need for success. Support Simply Forex and take your trading to the next level. Click the link in the description and sign up now.
So there you go, guys, Blueberry Funded. And right now, if you look above my head, if you use the code Simply20 and our link, you will get 20% off any funded challenge right now. Go check it out. It just so happens we have a prop firm question. So Red November, do you trade prop firms, Tom? Just wondering what Blueberry experience is like, etc. So no, I don't trade prop firms. Now, I wish prop firms were about when I first started, right? But they weren't, right? But there's such a good way for you to generate capital with not a lot of money, right? You can get like a 20,000 account for a couple of $100 or something, you know? So I wish that was about when I was learning how to trade, right? Because it's a very good way of just, that's your risk. Whatever you pay for the funded challenge, that's all you can lose. Whereas when I was learning how to trade, I was losing real money in a real trading environment, right? And it was very costly, right? But you know, you learn and you get through it. But I wish there was prop firms when I was learning to trade. So, but what I do know is a lot of the guys on our VIP Discord and in our free Discord are trading Blueberry Funded accounts, and we have had nothing but very good reports, right? Payouts on time, all the all the parameters of the challenges are all very clear and very labeled, easy to understand. And the other thing is that we like about Blueberry Funded, and the reason we partner with them, is they're backed by a broker. And because of that, they have some of the best prop firm spreads in the industry. You know, prop firms can take liberties a little bit with spreads, etc., right? Blueberry Funded have some of the best spreads, right? So lots of perks to doing a Blueberry Funded challenge, all right? So yeah, check it out, Red November, and like I say, use the code and the link and you'll get 20% off. Maybe start on a smaller account, see if you like it, and then go from there. Right, what else we're looking at? Tony Gold, Dr. Lecter. Yes, that's it. Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter. There we go. That was him. He likes Chianti, I'm sure. All right, and we've also got Dre Bliss wants to look at New Zealand yen, and Say It With Stone wants to look at Euro US dollar too. Okay, so because we were looking at pound US dollar, let's look at Euro US dollar first, and then we'll look at New Zealand yen, right? Because what's happening with pound US dollar is the same with Euro US dollar, right? Now, let's start with the weekly chart. Now, there is a very key resistance level through here on Euro US dollar, right? And you can see prices reacting here. We had to go that far back because we've broken all these highs, because euro and pound were just tearing. We know how weak the dollar's been, but we've also had a very strong euro and a very strong pound. Right? And just look at that. That is the weekly chart, right? But again, we have had a big weekly bearish candle at a key resistance level. And if you look at the moving average 20, we are very overextended up here, like very. So again, I would trade the retrace, right? I'm not interested in keeping on buying into that big red candle. So if anything, I would trade the retrace with Euro US dollar just down to this next level here, this 1.200. And again, let's recap about what we're looking in order to trade that retrace, right? So if we go to weekly chart, big bearish weekly candle, right? Tick. If we go to the day chart, I want to see maybe here, maybe in here. I want to see a big bearish daily candle. It could look like that. It could look like that. Right? Those are some of the best candles I've ever drawn. If anyone's been on this channel for a while, they will know I am like a 3-year-old moron when it comes to, not that all 3-year-olds are morons. I'm just saying a 3-year-old moron. Anyway, stop digging a hole. But you get the idea, right? This is one of my better drawings. But if we get a big, just digressing, if we get a big bearish candle that looks like this, right? Again, tick, right? That would suggest we can come lower, right? And again, we haven't seen that this week, right? And then what I'm looking for is a breakdown on H4. And as you can see at the moment, if anything, this is a buy trade. In fact, it's a very nice area for a buy trade. We're in a H4 uptrend. We've got the moving average 20 coming round. If we get a bullish H4 candle out of here, I would suggest Euro US dollar right now is a good buy trade. And also, if you look at the day chart, we had a nice bullish candle, right? So this is a good thing about perspective, right? So right now, I would buy Euro US dollar. Got a bullish daily candle. We've got a nice H4 trend and pullback, right? Euro US dollar right now is looking like a very good buy trade. It is, right? And potentially we could take price back up to these last highs, right? But we still have this big bearish weekly candle, which just makes me think twice about buying into that, right? So again, that's why I look at multiple timeframes. It's not to analyze myself to death so that I don't take a trade. It's to firstly keep me out of trouble, right? This could come crashing down, right, on the back of this big weekly candle. And you'd be like, I'm glad I didn't take that buy trade, just setting up today, right? So it can keep you out of trouble by looking at multiple time frames. And also, I just want to have as much data as I can to make the most informed business decision I can. Oh, just smashing my mic. And that's how I look at it, guys, right? That's I think how everyone should look at it, right? But that's how I look at it. Some people say, oh, analysis paralysis. I disagree, right? So weekly's kind of stopping me from buying it. But if you look at daily, right, daily candle, and you look at the level of H4, that is a wonderful buy trade. It really is if we get a nice bullish candle here. So, yeah, the more I look at it, I'm thinking Euro US dollar is a very nice buy trade, but just that weekly candle, guys. Right, Dre Bliss, New Zealand yen, no problemo. Now, as you know, I am in pound yen, right? And we only have half hour left before this H4 candle finishes forming, right? And I don't want the candle to finish like that. That's very bearish, right? But if we look at the day chart, right, we're still in this uptrend. Okay, we're still in this uptrend. Maybe it does want to come a bit lower before it goes higher. Okay, so be it. I can hedge this position, right? But nothing but buys for me with pound yen. Now, let's see if that's reciprocal. Is that even the right word? I'm not sure. With New Zealand yen, right? And the day trend, yes, right? Now, if we look at trend here, Price came back to this level. We're like, right, is this going to continue in the downtrend? And as soon as we break this high, it's a change of trend, right? Because all of a sudden we're getting higher lows, higher highs. We're in an uptrend. So typically I want to buy New Zealand yen, right? But a few things will prevent that. So this big bearish candle, I don't want to buy that, right? Obviously, okay? And if you look at the weekly chart, it's looking like potentially a good sell area, right? If we just follow the weekly chart down, okay, let's say that. We're clearly in a downtrend, right? Lower highs, lower lows, and we've retraced into a really nice area of value, right? Could this see yen do this? So the problem with New Zealand yen is this conflict, right, with the weekly versus the daily, right? That's the real problem here with New Zealand yen. So pick the one that's clearer, right? And pound yen was more clear to me. And also, do you want to start selling this big bullish weekly candle? Probably not, right? That would suggest we do have a bit more room to the upside, as would the day chart. So not clear for me at the moment. If we got something like this and today's candle finished something like this, there we go. My 3-year-old moron drawing, right? If you've got something like that, then okay, I'll be interested in buying it back up to these highs. But today, nothing telling me to buy that, nothing telling me to sell it. We're in an uptrend. So just stay away, really. So you can see the difference there, guys. Whereas pound yen, if we look at the weekly chart, right? So it's still close to the moving average 20, right? But look at this big bullish candle, and it still has a bit of room to move into before the next area of resistance, right? Plus, we have that daily uptrend, right? And you can see, look, you can see this level through here. We've still got that to move into, whereas New Zealand yen didn't have that room to move into. All right. And obviously, with any yen pair at the moment, with any flight to safety, it feels delicate. You know what I mean? Like Trump could come out and say anything. China could respond with tariffs, right? Something could happen in, some war somewhere. It all feels a bit fragile at the moment. But yeah, we are seeing a risk-on environment, right? Indices are going back up, and therefore flight to safety and yen weakness as well, right? But Trump could open his mouth, and the yen does that or that. But yeah, you can't trade like that. Don't trade in fear. Trade your setup, and that's what I'm seeing with pound yen and New Zealand dollar yen. Right, what other questions do we have? All right, so here we go. This is knowledgeable. Not only do we do trading, we do geography of Italy. So is it Puglia? Am I saying that correctly? Probably not. It's at the heel of the boot of Italy. Okay, so Italy's the boot, right? You've got the heel. Okay, so it's right at the boot. Where Helen Mirren lives. All right, very nice. Where Madonna, Messi come on holes or get married. Timberlake got married there. But most importantly, the best wine. I'm sold. I will be there. After Tuscany, that's going to be my next destination. Rich Paul, how the devil are you? It has been too long. How are you, mate? Hope you're all good. Hope the trading's going well. Rich Paul says here, what happens if you trade without correlation? That is a very open question. it's not like I trade with correlation, but it's an interesting question, really. So first and foremost, when it comes to correlation, you need to be aware that you are trading correlated pairs. You have to, right? So for example, simple correlations, right? If you're trading euro US dollar and pound US dollar and Aussie dollar US dollar, and you want to buy all of them, it's more or less the same trade, right? It's US dollar weakness, right? So you have to be aware of that simple correlation, right? You can't necessarily enter all of them unless you split your risk, right? Then you must be aware of correlations of the shit hitting the fan economically, right? Or a war, right? And the indices start dropping. That will give strength to the flight to safeties like yen, like gold, like Swiss franc, right? You have to be aware of that correlation. And the correlation between oil and Canadian dollar, right? If oil is strong, Canadian dollar tends to be strong, right? Obviously, these correlations are stretched or even broken at times, but generally speaking, those correlations hold true. So I wouldn't trade without correlation. I need that information. And you can use that information as extra confluence, right? Let's say you like US dollar, Canadian dollar sells, right? So you're looking at Canadian dollar strength. And you also see bullish oil, right? You're seeing big bullish daily candles on oil. That correlation with oil gives you more reasons and more confidence to take that US dollar, Canadian dollar sell trade, because that oil strength should help Canadian dollar strength, right? So always be aware of correlation. It's so important, and it can act as a good reason to take a trade. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Also, guys, please don't forget to come join our free Discord channel, join our trading community. Also, if you want access to all of our premium trading education, where we are giving you 50% off right now on the Simply Forex complete trading course, then check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. And please don't forget, our live stream today is brought to you by Blueberry Funded, and you can get 20% off any funded challenge right now if you use our link and our code. And on that note, guys, we shall call it a day. And guys, thank you very much for all of your time today. Thanks for all of your questions. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you same time again tomorrow. Adios, amigos.